G'day iRiders, my name's iRide and this is my channel iRide Taz, and I'm just out for a night ride, which doesn't happen very often in Tasmania because it's usually not warm enough. There's usually 10,000 wallabies like that leaping out at you, trying to commit suicide by throwing themselves in front of your bike. But tonight, I've just spent the last couple of hours installing a new set of handlebars, and I wanted to test out my L.E.D. Cree light bar that I installed.
Sir, we are very sorry. The doctors have analyzed your scans. Their verdict is unanimous. Your infliction is very serious. It is inoperable. There is only one chance of being cured.
Eat, sleep, ride, repeat. Eat, sleep, ride, repeat.
There's a rabbit. But yeah, wildlife is a big issue on the roads at night in Tasmania, as you can see. So the bars I bought, they're RHK Enduro bars, so they're a little bit wider and a little bit higher than what I had before, which were the stock bars, and they had the cross brace or crossbar was actually removable, which allows me to much more easily install my mobile phone holder that I use to mount my GPS and my second N-Star or RAM mount rip-off to have my second GoPro, so I can have the look back. So the bar's pretty comfortable actually. I'm very happy with them. Make me sit nice and upright. It's exactly what I was after. Sits up a bit higher when you stand up. Puts you in a better position to tackle harder terrain. The Cree light bar really does amaze me. Check this out while we're on a straight bit of road. That's the stock standard XR250L headlight, which isn't really even bin worthy. And then with the Cree light, it's actually quite usable. Gives you the confidence to actually ride around a bit at night. So I bought them off eBay, and two of them were $26 delivered by courier to my door within 24 hours, which blew me away. So for mounting that light bar, I had a couple of different options. I was thinking either on the front fender up here, mounted directly to the bark buster hand protectors, or on the front number plate. And in the end I went with the front number plate because it will shine directly in the middle of the road, exactly what I'm used to with the standard light. Installing it on that front fairing was pretty easy. I found the center, just used a whiteboard marker to mark it all out, measure it all out, and then I used the appropriate bit, which is a 6mm I believe. Took the number plate off and then put a pilot hole through, and then drilled the 6mm bit through to mount the backing plate, which allows you to move it up and down very successfully to sort of reposition it, which was what I was doing just then. And from there it was the electrical bit, and I wanted it on the high beams, so that it came on automatically, dipped automatically when I took the high beams off. So I hunted around and found a wiring diagram online, but that wasn't a whole lot of help because the wiring diagram was in Japanese. So I had a reasonable idea which was high beam, low beam and negative, and I couldn't be bothered going to Super Cheap to buy a test light, which is what a professional would have used. And so with the ignition on, I removed the plugs in succession from the back of the H4 bulb, sort of determining what came on, what went off, with each lead plugged and unplugged. And through trial and error, it only took sort of 30 seconds or so, I worked out very quickly what was high beam and what was low beam. And then I spliced the positive and negative wires of the light into the electrical system of the bike. And I just used some crimp-on connectors and some crimp-on joiners. The Cree light's very low wattage, so ultimately there's a tawny frogmouth, one of the owls of Tasmania. Awesome. And then I wrapped up that new harness with a huge amount of electrical tape. And then I put the number plate back on the bike and tested it to see whether the electrical system worked. And then from there, I'm now out testing the bike in the field. So this is low beam, high beam, high, low, high, low, high, low. So yeah, so now I'm out in the field testing it. So again, there's low, there's high, and it's a tremendous difference. It means realistically the difference between riding the bike in the bush at night and not, basically. So I couldn't be more impressed with these light bars. One tip I do have is it doesn't really seem to matter which one you buy. Brand wise, they all seem to be very similar, and they're surprisingly high quality. They're thin to help keep them cool. They mount really sturdily. I have ridden up the lakes in the Central Highlands with it on, and it hasn't budged an inch. But one thing, I have a Cree light bar that is a floodlight on my four-wheel drive, and that's great on the car. But as far as the bike goes, I really did want a spotlight rather than a floodlight, so it'll light forward down the track rather than just a wall of light 180 degrees from the front of the bike like it does with my car. That works great on the car, but I just had a feeling it wouldn't work particularly well on the bike. So I hunted around, and these are 6-inch 18 watt 25 degree spotlights, and I think you'll agree, for 26 Australian dollars they are working an absolute treat. the electrical system of the bike is keeping up. They don't dim. And then brighten when you rev the bike up and then go back down to idle. So as I come back in the back way to Sheffield, guys, hope you enjoyed this nighttime blast. My name's iRide. If you could like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things that you'd normally do on the social medias. iRide out.